Hi, welcome to the Pier 54 podcast.
I'm Amanda Kimmel.
And I'm Shannon Coach, and we are your hosts.
Welcome to the weekly GH History episode. Today we're talking about when GH started 56 years ago and some interesting facts from over the years.
Except first, we're going to break our own rule, and during our introductory episode, we said that Monday is going to be our weekly recap, and Thursday's episode will be dedicated to something from the history of General Hospital. But we had not watched the March 25th to 29th.
Yep.
And so we were just talking, getting ready for the history episode, and we decided we can do a quick 10-minute recap of things that happened this past week. So that we were caught up for next Monday. And we'll be watching alongside all of you, and we'll be all on the same page. So, Amanda, what was your favorite part of last week?
My favorite part or my not favorite part?
Let's do both. Favorite part and not favorite part.
No, I don't have a favorite part. I was disappointed with the way that Maxie covered up for the whole DNA test, because that was ridiculous. Maxie is
weird.
So much smarter than that. She would not have used some gray hair cover-up scandal. No. It didn't make any sense. She could have come up with anything better.
It's making her seem as shallow as people perceive her to be.
Right. And she's grown from that so much. And Liesel's not going to buy it. Like, she knows her.
She already didn't.
Right.
She said, what did she say? It was pathetic?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Yeah, she had some pathetic excuse. No, so I feel like, if it was a regular nurse, like that Amy chick, if she would have said to Amy, I'm running it for a gray hair test, sure, that would make sense. But to Liesel, no, that was unbelievable.
No. Yeah.
And Maxie's just smarter than that. So I was disappointed there. And then I was super disappointed, again, like we talked about last podcast, with everything to do with Lulu. She just seems completely unrealistic in her response to everything Dante is doing this week.
Seriously. So I think that we can have a lot to say about Lulu and Dante. So I take notes. The first crazy thing that I thought was, how did she not notice those scars on his back?
Right.
I mean,
that wasn't a cat scratch.
He didn't come home and go to sleep and nothing happened. I mean,
he was in the house 2 minutes and his clothes were off, but yet she didn't feel those marks on his back.
No.
That seems a little odd to me.
It does not seem...
And then her response to seeing them, she let out this loud gasp that did not wake him up or disturb him at all from his sleep.
Right.
Even though he's supposed to be jumpy and suffering from PTSD.
That's true.
You hear this woman behind you, like, gasp, and it doesn't startle you at all.
Yep.
And then, I didn't see her, wake him up or ask him about it. It was just like, oh my goodness, look at these scars.
Right.
What are we talking about? No. Totally unrealistic.
Absolutely.
And then her whole response to him saying he needed to leave.
Ugh.
I like that noise. Can you do that again?
I don't know what to do with her, because... So real quick, I did have one, and this is... So I think, really crazy, you know this. I think really crazy things. So, they taped this episode probably, month and a half ago?
Right.
Or so. There was one point when she and Valentine were arguing about getting Scarlett into the gifted program.
Yes.
And then when she was talking to Peter about it being a very difficult...
Yes.
And he's like, that sounds like Cookie's mad too. So she says that she doesn't want to deprive her child of a shot at the Ivy League, and I was just like, that's funny given the college scandal going on right now.
No,
that is
really funny.
I'm like, that had to have been recorded beforehand.
Yes.
I'm like, what?
Because Valentine would pay the...
That is exactly... I said, considering Valentine could probably just buy her way in.
They'll just start a whole new school for all those kids to go to.
Yep. But no, you're right. So, I mean, when Lulu was... When she was reacting to Dante saying that he needed to leave, I mean, the man was in tears and obviously broken. And she acknowledges that he has PTSD, or more than likely has PTSD. He's not going to get into the whole I'm brainwashed. I mean, PTSD definitely probably plays a part in it.
Right.
And she's so incredibly selfish. I mean, your ex-husband is a cop.
Yes.
If he had, when you were married to him, said, I am not okay. I'm afraid I'm going to hurt you.
I wouldn't stand there and cry. No, please don't leave
And
me.
say, don't abandon us again.
Right.
I'll call Kevin and get some referral. No,
And Kevin's in jail right now. He can't give any referrals because he's being arraigned. So he's not who we're going to for help.
Well, there's that. Well, she doesn't know that yet. She's in her world.
But no, you're right. It doesn't even have to be a cop. Anyone that's suffering with any type of mental health issue, if they say, I'm scared, I'm going to hurt you, I'm going to hurt myself, I need to go get help, the proper response is not, no, please don't abandon me, and make them feel guilty for doing what's best for them.
It's all right. What can we do? Oh, you have a plan. You have support. You have an organization that is willing to work with you until you feel comfortable to be reacclimated. Okay.
Right. And I didn't understand that part either, because they're making it sound like he's going to go away for the rest of their lives. He's never coming home. This is never going to be cured. Whether it's brainwashing or PTSD or whatever mental illness, there is some type of coping mechanism that they are going to teach him.
There might not be a cure, but there's something. Coping.
Right, no, he will never, most likely never be cured from the memories that he has. But they're going to teach him how he doesn't react by picking up a steak knife when he hears a tray fall or something like that.
Have those dreams where he's sniping his wife.
Right, exactly. I would imagine, I've never been in treatment for PTSD or brainwashed that I recall anyway, that you're going away for 6 weeks, 3 months, maybe even 6 months tops. But this is not, I'm away for you for the rest of my life because I was brainwashed.
Well, and she acknowledges that, we hear about this with the military. Maybe she needs to look up the veteran suicide rate. It is, 1 an hour now?
Yeah. Her
husband is standing in front of her saying, I'm scared.
Right. Or wasn't Amy's brother, Chet, that's now working at the floating
he
rib?
became addicted to the pain medicine
because he had issues.
Well, that was a football injury, though, wasn't it? Didn't he get dishonorably discharged because he was addicted to painkillers from a football injury?
I thought it had something to do with his service, though,
I could be totally wrong.
I thought he was having a hard time coming back from the service after being hurt, because he was a football hero in his town, and it was like his fall from glory to now be out of the military or kicked out of the military or something. That was the way that my thought process went. But anyway,
we'll have to look into that.
There's plenty of people in Port Charles between the WSB and the police force, and
maybe the WSB knows how to get him back into society better than Lulu.
Right, but probably not.
Right now, do we want to trust Kevin because he let his brother stab Lulu?
I'm sure.
So let's actually make it about her.
Ferncliff is the answer. We should have taken there.
But Kevin's actions led her to being stabbed. But she trusts him right now to give a referral. No,
because she hasn't thought that far.
No,
she hasn't thought that far. That's where Laura's at, and Lulu's never going to get there because.
But then, Laura had her own mental health stuff, and she was locked away, and I understand that was traumatic for Lulu. She needed her mom, but
that should be even more reason that she wants him to get the help that he needs.
Right.
For their children, for them.
Right.
So, I mean, I could talk about this all day,
I know.
But I was just very disappointed.
This is kind of why we didn't want to wait until next week, because we don't want to know we're going to find out what happens this week. But, because we're recording on Monday night, so we haven't even watched the April 1st. So we're actually recording on the day that General Hospital launched.
Yay.
But, so my favorite part of the week is probably something that has been one of my favorite things for quite some time. And I talked about it briefly last week, is the bromance between Robert and Finn. I mean, when they went to go get Anna, and now Robert's giving him advice for Anna, and I'm just like, dude, I love you guys. Like, they are, so my husband's technically my kid's stepdad, and he actually gets along with my ex.
That's awesome.
And they'll stand out in the driveway talking about cars for a half hour. I dated 2 guys in between them. That did not happen.
Right.
So that's definitely a very special relationship. But I'm a fan of it. All right, so let's get into the history recap. Where do we want to start?
So I was just Googling things because
Google's the best.
We are not, neither of us are 56 years old, so we don't remember all of the things that happened. I wasn't aware that it started out being a half-hour show and then increased slowly to 45 minutes and then to an hour.
Yep.
You have the dates there. I don't.
I do. So it was a half hour until 1976, And then in 1976, in July, it became 45 minutes.
Which seems really weird to me. I didn't realize they even had 45-minute
Well,
shows
because
back
now
then.
with commercials, the show is only 45 minutes.
Right.
So,
Were there
what did
commercials
I
back
don't
then?
know.
Oh, now we need
But
a
is it
whole
fair
just
to
TV lesson.
I know, but is it fair to say that now at a full hour, it's actually not a half?
It's not a whole hour, but right.
So, I don't know.
Okay, but they were
But in
calling it an hour.
1978, it became the first full hour.
full hour. All right, and it went from black and white to color in 1967.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm reading upside down. I apologize.
It was also the first, and this is more recent because, in the 60s they didn't have high def.
No.
But it was the first daytime drama that was taped and broadcast in high definition. And as of February 2018, we are at 14,000 episodes. So it's been an entire year. And so that number's higher. But one really interesting thing that I did not know until, so got a lot of information from Wikipedia and other Google sources. Should probably look that stuff up so that we're giving credit where credit is due. I think that actually most of my information came from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And the ABC General Hospital TV show page. Port Charles was not even mentioned until 1976.
That's crazy.
Like, the town had no name.
Right, because it all centered around the hospital. The 7th floor of the hospital. Like,
right.
Now you see all the different levels. They have those fancy TV screens to tell you what floor you're on. That's funny to me.
Well, and so speaking of that, so you mentioned that it just focused on the 7th floor. The story is only focused on the staff. The Quartermains weren't even introduced until 1977.
Right, and I thought they were one of the main players. Like, I really did. I imagined in my brain, Edward and Steve were like friends hanging out.
Right.
So
like Steve was the main doctor.
Yeah.
And Edward was
ran the hospital because all their money is in that hospital.
Right.
That's what I imagined.
When we were trying to figure out names for the podcast, like, we thought about, like, Quartermain Corner or something like that, and we're like, well, Quartermain, is abroad, not very specific.
We're going to go more than that.
Yeah. I mean, Pier 54 is not really specific either, but it's just intriguing enough. But, yeah, and I mean, and Stuart Damon was the first Quartermain. So I thought that was really interesting, because we want him back. We killed him for no reason. Just saying. I
don't think they can bring him back. Maybe he has a twin. They'll bring him back as a twin.
They could totally bring him back as a twin. He could be the original. He could be the original lost memory. Maybe he's actually Drew and Jason's dad. And so he never actually cheated on Monica.
There you go. There you go. We can write our own storyline.
Rewriting it all.
Twin thing. We can just bring everyone back as a twin, and I would be happy.
Yes. But then, I mean, and that's pretty much when the snowball effect started happening with all the families that we know now.
Yes.
That came. Who was after the Quartermains?
The Spencers?
Yeah. Was it the Spencers?
Spencers. Yeah, Spencers 1977 when Bobby came on. And Laura was also coming on around that same time.
Okay. But she was a Weber, and the Webers and Hardys were the OG.
Yes.
They were the OG of the unnamed PC. You should make that a rap.
You work on that for next time. Like your opening line. Oh my god. But that could go on a t-shirt.
Did you ever watch the show Community?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't get
It's
that
on NBC. No, there was just I was just rewatching it, and there was an episode where the dean came in and did a rap, and he's like, I don't know what just happened. It was, okay,
that was you, right?
That was me. But yeah, and then, Robert Scorpio came in 1978.
Which I also think, I know obviously he hasn't been around since the beginning, but, to me he's been there forever.
Right.
Because, well, I was born in 80, so he was there forever, essentially, for my whole life. So that's crazy. I guess it never occurred to me that there was no Scorpio parents behind him.
Right.
Like, I thought he came from that. I didn't realize he started in 78.
Right.
And then the Cassadines in 81, another one that I thought that Helena, I swear to God, that lady's been alive for 400 years. So.
Who originated Helena Cassadine?
I don't know that.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh, yes, I did know that. I'm sorry.
I believe she originated. She was in Luke and Laura's wedding.
Yes.
Or she wasn't in the wedding. She was not a bridesmaid.
No. In a nice 80s gown.
Oh my gosh, those gowns. But no, she she was.
Yes, she was the one that was like, I will get you. It's like the evil witch at the end.
Because she was a huge fan of General Hospital.
How can you not be?
I know. Princess Diana sent Luke and Laura each a bottle of champagne.
That wedding was so beautiful.
Yes. Well, she got married a month before them.
So beautiful.
Wasn't it?
I think you're right, but I couldn't swear to that.
My parents got married in October 1981, and my dad was in the Navy, and they did not have a TV. So let's just think about this for a second, so I have 2 TVs in my house, even though I only think we need one. How many TVs do you have in your house?
I have 2, but one's in Matt's room, so that doesn't count.
Well, ish. But, I mean, my parents got married and didn't even have a TV.
Yeah.
And so he was in the Navy and he was leaving. And she's like, you are not leaving me here alone without a TV. And I'm going to miss Luke and Laura's wedding.
Oh my gosh.
So they got a TV. At least that's the story that I have been told.
See? I like it. I like it. That's why you are a General Hospital baby.
It could be. It could be. I wasn't in the picture
weren't
anywhere
there,
yet.
But
I was born
it shows your
10 months
dedication.
later. Oh, wait. Could I have been a Luke and Laura baby?
Oh, there you go. Let's watch this.
I'm a September baby, and they say that there's more September babies than any other, like end of August through September, because like New Year's Eve through Valentine's Day.
Right. Mm-hmm. See, all my babies are 4th of July babies.
Yeah, we had that discussion.
So
Amanda has 4 kids, 3 of which had birthdays last week.
Yes, they were Thursday, Friday. Their dad was Saturday, and then my son was Sunday. It was awesome.
That's crazy.
And they weren't planned like that. I really like fireworks, apparently. So, all those... Maybe that's the New Year's Eve people. There's fireworks on TV there, too. So, stay away from fireworks people unless you want a baby. So...
and then, what? Who came next?
Jones Family, 84.
The Jones Family came in 1984, and the Corinthos came in 1993.
Which is crazy to me also, because I didn't realize that I was, like, there for the beginning of... Now I know why me and Sunny belong together. I didn't realize that we...
Well, so he just celebrated his 25 years on the show.
I love him.
When was that? It was this past fall that he celebrated 25 years. Because, did you know that in that episode where he saw younger him, that's actually his son?
Oh.
And they were on the pier, but when he was like, which path would I have taken?
Right.
That was in celebration of his 25th anniversary, and that was actually his son.
That's awesome.
That was because I'm looking at him like, they did a really good job casting this.
Wow, that's great. No, I love Sunny.
But so, the funny thing about that is, so Corinthos came 1993, yet the top 5 characters with the most episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Liz is number 5.
Okay.
1,764. So, but she was a mid-90s edition, you know. Sam, who's later,
right,
1,802. I don't know when these numbers were last updated, so I'm sorry. Carly, 1,814. Jason, who was gone for 5 years. Ooh, I need to find out if this is Steve Burton Jason or if this is just Jason the character. Oh,
I bet it's just Jason the character.
I'm gonna have to find that.
I'm betting it's Jason the character. But of course they wanted him in the most scenes because who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Like that brings viewers right there. He's just delicious.
But the character with the most episodes
is
Sunny.
How could I guess that one?
2,390.
Because he's awesome.
He is. But I mean, that's...
And he's been with every woman on the show pretty much, so you couldn't really have a sex scene without him in it.
Who's he been with?
He was
with Brenda.
He was with, he wasn't with Karen, right? He wasn't with Karen, but he, like, drew her into that scene, like, got her into the sexiness. He wasn't with Robin, but there was substantial chemistry there. He was with Sam.
Yep.
He was with, wife that blew up, Lily.
Oh, Lily was the wife that blew up.
Yes, that's how I'd refer to her. She was mine. Lily and Alexis and Ava.
Yeah.
And Carly like 1,800 times.
Yeah.
That could be all of those episodes.
We still didn't look that up. Yeah.
That could be. All those 1400 that she was in or whatever
Right.
number you just quoted, those were all love scenes. It was funny. Um, who else? Emily.
Oh yeah, that was
I
wrong.
hated that.
That was just.
I hated that, but he was with
Mhm.
Emily. I loved Emily. I loved original Emily. Oh, let's bring Em back. I love
Yes.
Em.
Amber Tamblyn.
Mhm.
She.
I love her.
I'm not even gonna look it up right now, but I know she's on something right now.
I love her.
I can't find whoever listed. I'm gonna have to find it and I'll source it because I want to give credit to the where I
Right.
got that stat. I have so many. I
We
did
were
so
really
much Googling
researching.
today.
We were trying to research.
And I forgot to write it down. But yeah, so I mean that's kind of super high level, you know, the past 56 years. Do you think we missed anything?
No, I mean obviously we're gonna develop
there's-
these characters way more than just
Oh!
listing when they started, but
The
go
big
ahead.
thing,
What's the big thing?
the nurses ball.
Oh my god. I'm still hoping that we get an invite to that. I would like to be part of the nurses ball. What was okay, we're gonna do a nurses ball like episode because there's just too much to cover. But off the top of your head, favorite nurses ball act.
Oh my gosh. I can tell you what's not my favorite
Oh, go ahead.
because I don't care for this song.
Okay.
That stupid I Love It song, and they had all the girls sing it.
Oh,
I just
okay.
can't stand that song. I'm a true crime fan, but that's how that happens. Like, Snapped happens. That should be the new theme song for Snapped. That
Okay.
is just a very. I just don't like that song. Favorite? Oh, I don't know. What's yours?
I liked when Sam and all them did the Megan Trainor song, Dear Future Husband.
Yes.
That was so cute.
That was cute.
It was so cute. And just the way they all, like, meshed together, it was
Yeah.
believable to me that that group of people would be friends. Because sometimes they put people together, and I'm like, I haven't seen you guys talk in 6 months, and now
Right.
you're doing a nurses ball thing together. So, to me, that group of people really would be like, hey, let's do this. And it was so cute.
I do love the song that Epiphany sings every year.
Oh, yeah.
And that was just heartbreaking because I think that they stopped doing it the year after Sabrina died. Was it last
Yeah.
year? Because I don't remember I don't remember her doing the same song last year.
No, she didn't do it last year. No, I liked Sabrina, too.
So
Oh,
did
you're making
I.
me miss
That
her.
made me. She deserved to marry Patrick. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But Robin is the favorite because she's been on
I
it forever, so they had to bring her
know,
back and do
but
that.
she's
She's the favorite. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She wins because she's the favorite.
I'm like really
That's how it
struggling
works.
with this right now. But yeah, so
Way too much to talk about for right now.
I'm not a
but
fan of the men
no
stuff. I'm like,
No, the first year it was cute. The first year it was cute.
different.
But every year
Mm-mm.
I don't like it. It was
No.
unexpected the first year, maybe.
Right.
Like it was, I don't know, cute's the right word. But yeah, it was unexpected and it was like, whoa, I can't believe they're doing this. But now to continue reoccurring it, like,
Well,
I just don't feel like those group of people would go together to do that. Because they've had like
I did like how
Benelli in there with, no, it just doesn't make sense.
I did like how Dante punked Chase and he killed it. Now, but
Yes.
I like that song, so that's a whole other.
I mean, anything with Chase in it is fine by me. Cause
But they,
he is-
oh, I'm glad that Willa's staying.
Yes.
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 Sorry. Oh, we're not going back to the recap. We're not. But yeah. So but also like how we were talking about last week with Jocelyn and Oscar and how like they're not that type of couple.
Right.
Michael's not that type of guy.
Right.
He, you know,
Right. And then they've kept him
having
like that.
him shirtless
Right.
on stage is just weird to me.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm like one of those weird people. I actually fast forward through that stuff.
Okay, I don't fast forward that stuff, but I do agree that he doesn't walk around, showing off his stuff.
Right.
Like he is respectful of women and respectful in his relationships and
Yeah.
just his character in general. Like, he's got to be one of the Port Charles top single bachelors. That's why they have him in this whole dating stuff recently.
Oh my gosh.
Which was also weird. That whole Valentine's Day was so weird. But anyway, not to
You're my first
backtrack.
date.
Right.
I should have done that when I was dating.
There you go. Maybe it's better
But
planning than we did back in the day. But
maybe
anyway, I
wasted
just
way too much time on the wrong ones.
I don't see him being, the type of person that would go on stage and take his shirt off.
No.
Along with Spinelli was in one of those, 2 of those, 10 of those. I don't know
Yeah,
how many
he's
of those.
not.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Right,
himself is absolutely adorable.
Oh, right,
you know?
right. But that wasn't his personality.
No.
He was always like shy and backwards, and now he's going to be on stage taking his shirt off. It just, next to like Milo and them, no.
Jocelyn singing was a surprise to me.
Yes.
That was a big surprise.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of the more, like, back when the Nurses Ball started. Like, that's why I'm struggling, because everything I'm thinking of has been more recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't. But when I was on the ABC website, they have 16, they have 16 of, like, it's like a recap of the past 16 Nurses Balls.
Oh, okay.
Right. So we can just watch that.
All Lucy's outfits. I could watch it just for that. I love her wardrobe changes.
Yeah.
Not her wardrobe malfunctions.
Thank you.
That's
what I was like, no.
Just her wardrobe. Some of those dresses are to die for.
Oh, you know what? I think it was IMDb is who gave me the numbers for the most episodes.
Oh, okay.
And that makes sense because they do that a lot. So yeah, on abc.go.com/shows/general-hospital. I'm sure you could just
Google
I don't know.
General Hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to pop right up for you to look at the best
right
nurses.
In the middle is watch a collection, of 16 episodes from Port Charles' most glamorous charity event, the Nurses Ball. So it's actually only the past 4 years.
Okay.
Sorry. I knew 16 was in there somewhere.
Right. I feel like that's something that people should email us about, too, with their favorite.
Yes.
Their favorite Nurses Ball, and then we can discuss it during our episode.
Yes. So
we'll see what gets the most votes, or things that we haven't even remembered.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So I think we should put together a Facebook page just to have a little bit more interaction on this stuff, too, because we could create a poll on there.
Right.
People could just vote.
Yes.
So
Shannon's the tech behind everything, not me.
I wish we'd... So they were in Graceland. I'm sorry, I'm on the website again.
Now she's distracted.
I am. I'm squirreled. But they had a General Hospital Graceland thing that if they do it again, we're going to have to go.
Okay.
But yes, so if you tell us your favorite Nurses Ball memory and email it to us at peer54podcast@gmail.com. Maybe be on the lookout for a Facebook page to pop up. Don't know when that's going to happen, but we'll keep you posted. Last episode we said also what you think the most ridiculous storyline has ever been. Email that to us also. And if you have a suggestion for one of the Thursday episodes, we talked about, but this year is the 25th anniversary of the Nurses Ball.
Yes.
So we are going to dedicate an entire episode to the Nurses Ball. Not sure if we should do before or after the Nurses Ball. Maybe we'll do a week dedicated to the Nurses Ball. Well, the Nurses Ball is typically a week long anyway, so that'll probably just be a weekly recap. We will discuss that when that happens, which is coming up soon. But, so email those to us, and we talked about doing a full episode dedicated to different characters.
Yes.
Because Scotty's been around since the
beginning, which I did not realize.
And even though he hasn't been on and it hasn't been the same, but I mean, the character of Scotty is...
Yes. He's probably one of the only ones that's been there for the whole time, because all the grown-ups at
Monica
that time
is the
have
longest cast member.
Okay.
Leslie Charleston.
Yes.
Who thank goodness, got back from her sprained ankle.
Yes.
Or whatever it was that she did.
Not...
She broke her ankle walking her dog or something.
Yes.
That replacement.
Those were some good text messages.
I know that there's always someone go wrap Betty White in bubble wrap because we're afraid of losing her. Can we please get a sidecar for Leslie Charleston?
Yes.
Because that cannot happen again.
Yes. She was just awful.
She was mean.
None of the mannerisms were correct. It was like she had never seen...
Monica is a no-nonsense person.
Right.
But she loves and she cares.
Yes.
This woman was just like...
Yes.
the Miranda Priestley of Miranda Presley. What was her name in Devil Wears Prada? Meryl Streep. She was the Miranda. I think I just mixed two movies.
Like, what?
So my favorite movie is A Thing Called Love, and the main girl is Miranda Presley. Because her dad loved Elvis. So yeah, her name's Miranda Presley. I forget Miranda from The Devil Wears Prada's last name.
All right, the mean person.
Yes.
That's what we're getting at.
All right.
Yeah, no, she didn't have any of the mannerisms down. It was like she had never seen General Hospital a day in her life.
It's like she never saw a person a day in her life.
I wasn't gonna be that mean, but it just wasn't. It wasn't good. It was unbelievable.
Yes.
I couldn't wrap my head around it. I didn't like it. So, although Monica was kind of weird, not to backtrack too much, but she was kind of weird with the discussion about Oscar. And
I think she
Oscar,
had her doctor hat on, though. I think that she was not being grandmother. I think she was...
Well, I have to say that Kim is the most selfless mother in the entire world, because if my child was dying and you told me he needed to move in with you, no.
No.
Even if you're inviting me, no.
Yeah.
So, but we can explore that more next week when we see what happens.
Yeah, because they might not.
Right.
Oscar might die.
Oh my god.
I know, I'm not
She's
even
heartless.
ready for it.
That came out of nowhere.
We just were talking about Oscar dying.
But
How is that happening?
No, we were talking about eventually you just killed him off.
Well, we're not going to do the recap again now. So, we could also, well, I guess that's part of our recap is the predictions. But yeah, so email us that stuff. And we will talk to you next week.
Yes, see you then.
Have a great week.
Bye.
And bye.